Did God have you though? Did he not?
I don't believe he did. That's my truth.
You said you didn't know then, or you still don't know now?
Still now.
Because there are 33% of men who watch my YouTube channel, I thought this would be a great time to have a conversation about the statement that Kevonstage just made. He feels that God does not have him right now, and he felt like God did not have him when his brother passed. And I want to dive deeper into that, but before we do, let's continue to listen to what Kevonstage had to say about his brother's passing.
This is the part that feels the most cruel about it. He had cancer, and at the time that he was diagnosed, they were like, this is like a terminal cancer, 5 to 7 years, right? So, man.
Lost my grandfather to cancer.
I'm sorry, man.
What makes it worse is if he just got cancer and got sicker and died, okay, that's what cancer does. You understand that. He got cancer, got sick, and then got better, to where he was back to where he used to be. So we were on a book tour, and I saw him in Houston. We had dinner. Everything was normal, and the night before he passed away, we were texting and calling, and everything was great. The day he passed away, we were talking, we were texting, we were talking about sports. And then my sister-in-law called and was like, your brother had a seizure. And I'm like, what? I still had my phone in my hand. I was like, I'm just talking to him. And I was so disoriented that I had a show that night. And I was like, came home and I was like, I'm gonna go to my show, he'll be fine. And my wife was like, I'm gonna go to Houston. I think you should come. And thank you. And I'll never forget this. We're flying, and my nephew called me on the plane, and somehow my phone still rang. And my nephew told me on the phone, he's gone.
How many times have we dealt with something that happened unexpectedly? Like you weren't prepared for those things to take place. Who do you blame? We normally blame God. And I'm not saying that anybody in the situation is right or wrong, but I know that God controls everything. And so when he doesn't control things or have things go the way we want them to, it's a lot easier for us to say, God, this is your fault, especially for people who believe in God. I mean, there are many people who have turned away from God because they feel exactly like Kevonstage feels.
Wow. So the last time he was alive, I'm talking to him the night before. We make the New York Times bestseller. Look, thank you, Richard. So it's the highest high. Like that day is the best day ever. Because it was like we did it. Everything was like we wanted to do this. We wanted to make all this stuff happen. And we did it. And before we could even celebrate it, you're gone.
Jeez.
And then all this stuff starts happening good. And it's like, bro, this is what we worked for. All the stuff, the shows, and it's just like, there's times where I go to text him or to call him, and it's like, your brain doesn't even remember.
Whenever your life begins to experience trials and trouble and tribulation and trauma, it is not merely the trial of your faith, it is actually the trial of your trust. It engages your trust when something bad is happening to you from a good God. And sometimes the question is, God, if you're good, I mean, why are you letting this happen to me? Did I do something bad? Why are you letting this happen? Here's another question that we ask, God, if you're good and if you love me, why didn't you stop this from happening to me? Anybody ever felt that way, that God, you let my mama die? Lord, you let this happen. You let that happen, and God gets charged by what we might call his permissive will, because God, you had the power to stop this from happening and you didn't. We live in a fallen world, and there's a demon that's out here that doesn't like you and who's trying to get up under your skin, and he knows that the best way to get me to cause them to question their faith is to allow a trial, a challenge, a tribulation to come there and to begin to weaken or diminish their faith. And so he introduces trouble making you think that if I can cause enough pain and discomfort in their life, I can rock them in their faith.
So, and then on top of all that, his responsibilities became mine. So his family, he's the provider for that family. So now all of a sudden, I've got to help his wife, his kids.
Wow.
So I'm grieving with y'all.
Wow.
But I've taken on more of a burden.
I know how it feels to lose a brother, especially when you don't expect it. But one of the things I also do know is that God is always going to be God, and I have to stay focused on him in order for me to not fall into the trap of the enemy. I just want to remind you as a believer that the devil is here to kill, steal, and destroy. Do not let him kill your trust or your faith in God. God is still God, and he is going to do what he said he will do, and his word does not come back void. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think about everything in the comments below, because that's what I'm here for.